Moving on now, I mentioned at the beginning that this is a special Scottish Alcohol Research Network event, and I'm delighted that one of the co-chairs of SARN, that's Carol Emslie, is going to speak next. Carol, as most of you will know, I think, leads up the Substance Use Research Group at Glasgow Caledonian University. And I've come to realise in my short time at SHAAP just how crucial links, such as links with Stirling and links with units at Glasgow Caledonian, are to our work, and bridging that gap between advocacy and research. And so, Carol, I'd like you to say words.
Thank you, Alistair, and thank you for the invitation to speak today. I've got lots of bells ringing here around keywords like energy, fun, inspiration, innovation, and making the impossible possible. These are all things that Eric does. I couldn't resist sharing a few pictures with you. Thank you. So in 2014, Eric commissioned us at Glasgow Caledonian University to work on the first qualitative research study looking at the social context of LGBT people's drinking in Scotland. So we knew that drinking and alcohol-related harm were high in this community, but we didn't have detailed understandings of why, and we didn't have knowledge of what was going on in Scotland. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues, Dr Lana Ireland, and particularly Gemma Lennox, who facilitated some fantastic focus groups with LGBTQ friendship groups for this research. So what did we find? Well, our research really highlighted the centrality of drinking on the commercial gay scene, the lack of alcohol-free spaces for LGBTQ plus people in Scottish society, which still exists today, and strong peer pressure to drink across the life course. It also highlighted a range of barriers, including service providers assuming that all patients were heterosexual and cisgender, and perceptions by our respondents that alcohol services and peer support groups would not provide safe spaces, so the idea that they would be macho and intimidating. And the research also flagged up the ways in which LGBT plus people demonstrated their identity through alcohol. And one of the many fantastic things about Eric is, of course, he knows everyone. And as Alistair said, it's so important to join up our research to the people who will use it and who will find it useful in order to make our research useful. And so Eric facilitated our beautiful report, which is such a joy when you're an academic and work in black and white to have a beautiful, colourful, accessible report. He facilitated us presenting our research at the Scottish Parliament, working with MSPs, working with the Scottish Trans Alliance and LGBT plus health, and getting our research to third sector organisations, to policymakers, and to the people that would use it. I've also spotted David Barber here today, and I'm really pleased that our research has been used with a lot of other research as part of the Kinder, Stronger, Better community campaign, and I really would ask colleagues to take a look at this really useful resource and short videos co-produced with community volunteers. So David Barber at the Glasgow Council on Alcohol and Ash Husband, formerly Scottish Families Affected by Alcohol and Drugs, during our research worked with LGBT plus community volunteers to develop this campaign to really flag up and raise awareness of substance use in the LGBT plus community, and to signpost people to help and advice, which is really key here. And I've got the logo here as well of the Glasgow LGBTQI Substance Use Partnership, also set up to address this disproportionate impact of substance use on LGBTQI plus people by improving service inclusivity and proactively engaging with the community. So again, getting the research where it needs to go. I also really want to highlight Eric's substantial academic contribution. I met him, first of all, at a speed networking event at the launch of the British Sociological Association Alcohol Study Group, and he later supported an event for this group where we had people from different disciplines talking about their alcohol research, talking about working together, and talking about future directions. And as always, I was impressed by his energy, his huge experience, his ambitious vision for SHAAP, and his commitment to actually making things happen, which is absolutely music to my ears. I think we can really see Eric's commitment to inequalities as well through his PhD on social justice, alcohol and youth transitions, his work with SHAAP on Women in Alcohol seminar series with the Institute of Alcohol Studies, and followed by work on men in alcohol, the LGBT work and trans inclusion in alcohol services. And his work aligns so well with us at Glasgow Caledonian University, the University for the Common Good. And we're really proud to have Eric as an honorary fellow at the university. So Eric Carlin, sociologist, knowledge broker, policy influencer, now policy maker, and all-round fabulous human being. Thank you, and thank you for helping us transform evidence into action.
That's a great strap. That's a great strap line, Carol. Transforming evidence to action. I must use that more often.
Oh, that's Eric's. I stole it from him.
Excellent. I should have guessed. That's great. And apologies for forgetting to introduce the topic. You managed to introduce it yourself. Thanks very much. It does very much highlight how under Eric's direction they've been able to, I think, both have a broad brush, but also focus in on specific questions, such as the LGBTQ plus a problem, the problem for women, and the problems for men too. So I think that's been, again, a very helpful focus for people to understand the threads of the alcohol problem.